I shouldn't have to do an intro before an intro, but because it's been 4 months when this video was ready to be uploaded, I never had the chance, guys. Obviously, if you know me well, I've been in America for the past 4 months, so I never got the chance to upload this video. But for those of you that are still interested, it's currently December the 16th, so we're going to go back in time and basically tell you what's happened so far, what happened with football and everything. It's been a crazy year, but for those of you that are still interested, here's the video. Wow, this is weird. What's going on, and welcome back to, I'm gonna say another video, but it's been 395 days, so I apologise guys, it has been over a year, but it's been a very weird last few months, or last year you could say. I don't know where to start, but basically the last video I did was on the 3rd of July, and a lot has happened, and it was coming up to my second year scholarship. Basically, I just stopped YouTube. A lot of things was going on. It was COVID, all these different things. But basically, this video, I'm gonna go back in time. I'm gonna start at the 3rd of July and basically work my way up to August the 2nd, which is today. And hopefully you'll have a better gist of what went on the last year. It's crazy, but let's roll the video. Right, let's start this journey off then. I'm just going to show video clips over me speaking because I think you guys would probably find that more interesting. But we're starting off, it's literally just been my 17th birthday, weighing in at 70 kilos. We're going to be going into a very tough schedule now. We're talking about, it's coming to the end of June, so we're talking about a month and maybe 10 days until pre-season starts. And as you've just seen, I've got to put myself through quite a hectic schedule. So as you can imagine, I'm raring to go. I literally just want to get as fit as possible for my second year scholarship. So, I've got no regrets. I can hit the ground running. And so, I'm literally just ready to try and get that pro contract. Because as you guys know, as much as it's 2 years, clubs like to make decisions around Christmas time, so I needed to be ready and basically trying to get my pro contract within the next 4 or 5 months. This is probably one of the longest pre-seasons I will ever have, and I'm sure a lot of you guys experienced this. This was obviously during the pandemic, so the season finished early and you were looking at about 5 months of literally training by yourself. So it was 5 months of running, and that was not easy. It was definitely not an enjoyable time, but it was just something everyone had to go through, so I think it just made it so much more harder, but at the same time gave you a lot of motivation to just get back and get playing. So after 5 months, we've not been able to play with anyone. We were finally allowed back to train on the 4th of August, I believe. So, I definitely felt like all that hard work, literally training by myself definitely paid off. As you'll see, these training clips are all through pre-season and during pre-season, leading on to the season, and basically just building up to our first game of the season, which was going to be a friendly against Sheffield Wednesday. And I honestly feel like I couldn't have been in better shape because everything just felt smooth, fitness felt good, and I was just so looking forward to playing the game. So late August, we finally get the first game in probably over 6 months, and it was such a great game to be involved in. For the first game in 6 months, I was really happy with my performance. A great place to start, a lot to work on, but a good place to build on, in all areas. It was a solid game, but for some reason, I played 90 minutes. I don't know why. It was only me and another lad who played 90 minutes, but it soon comes to bite me in the back. But as I was saying, I was playing a good game. I was really enjoying being back. Fitness felt good, passing was good. Everything was there, and it was ready to build on, from the start of the season. But you've got a clip coming up in a second, and I basically roll my ankle. It was a weird one, as you'll see in a second. I wasn't supposed to receive the ball. It's this clip here. I'm not supposed to receive it, but I take it anyway, and it's that turn there. And you'll see me go down for a while and start wiggling my foot. But I basically, tore a ligament, grade 2 ankle, and you'll see what my ankle looks like a few days later because I continued to play on with it, which was not a good idea. But at the time, it was fine. But then, a few days later, it looked like this. So there you guys go, the best and the worst possible start to pre-season I could have asked for. Great game, but finished off with me basically having a hockey ball on the side of my foot, as you saw. That was some bad bruising right there. So, as I said, that had me out for about 6 weeks there. And after 6 weeks, I came back, took me about 2 weeks, and I did another minor ankle sprain. It was nowhere near as bad. It was like grade 1, but I think because it was still repairing, it wasn't quite ready, and I did another ankle sprain. So that was another 2 weeks. So it ended up taking me about 10 weeks probably to get back playing my first game. And even then, I was only playing a few odd minutes. So I'd come on for like, I don't know, the last 15. And then by maybe just before Christmas, we were looking at about 45 minutes at the end of the game. But basically, that injury I would put that down to basically causing me to miss out properly on the first half of the season. You know, it killed the momentum. When the team's already solidified, it's not easy to get back into. But that's football for you, it happens. And that's basically gets us to Christmas time. So now we're in December and we're still having these awkward times. Some weeks we'd have to isolate for a week because of COVID, and you know, it just keeps on giving this COVID. Anyhow, it gave me a chance to do lots of training, schoolwork, get on with my BTEC extended diploma, and finally learn how to drive. That was something I think everyone was doing at the time. And getting to Christmas time, we got Secret Santa, got some hair straighteners. Thanks for that, Billy. I won't be needing them anymore. And finally, just before Christmas, finally managed to pass my driving test, which was a massive W. That was great to do just before the end of the year. And, you know, lots of training in between all of this. And then finally, at Christmas time, some well-deserved time off. Kick my feet up and get ready for the upcoming year. So we finally escaped the year of 2020. Glad to get that over and done with. New year, new me, that sort of thing. You know, the mentality changes. You want to get onto a good start for the second part of the season. But Leeds had just been promoted, so that was definitely a massive step in where the academy was at and the club, of course. So, you know, those players are going to be getting bought in. It was going to get a lot harder for us homegrown academy players because of, I don't think I need to explain, but the money kind of gets crazy, as you can imagine. But nevertheless, back into training, back into full force. Let's finish off the season strong. Just when everything's starting to pick up again, football's getting more momentum, this happens. You couldn't quite get what went on then, just know that I got injured again. Shock, I know. Not too, you know, nothing major. Basically, as you saw, my leg overextended around the knee, so I think I got I felt like my bones sort of, like, it wasn't nice, but it had me out again for another 2 weeks, so it was, what can I say? But yeah, anyway, we move. Normal day. Get back after training, gym, analysis, all that normal stuff. Get back. You know, I did my COVID test, swab test, get back, club doctor rings. Max, I'm afraid your swab test come back positive. Oh, fuck. Brilliant news. I'm in here for the next bloody 14 days, so that's great. Just after coming back from injury, good 4 weeks out, come back for a week. Never mind, back out for another 2. And as you could imagine, that 2 weeks was absolutely horrendous. However, on the positive side of things, it did let me start up another new business, side hustle. Got into some Air Jordan business, which is something I'm still doing and love doing, as well as keeping Boots Finder up and running too. As you can imagine, I was just doing lots of flipping exercise at home, and it's so boring because there's not much you can do. But as it was coming up to the end of the season, a few good things did start to happen.
Certainly tried to, seems they couldn't get to Ilunga. Across they go. Maximus Rigby is the last sub. What a challenge from Rigby. Flies into the tackle, wins the ball, and Dons are asking for a red card. He gets a yellow, Rigby. Well, Dial was the man that's coming across for the red. Well, first of all, I hope the player's okay, Ilunga. Never want to see a player injured.
After the Youth Cup, a month later, on the exact day of April the 9th, me and all my teammates were released from Leeds. Obviously, it's a shock. It hurts a little bit, but it was definitely a weird situation because I think myself definitely, but probably a lot of my teammates, we saw it coming. It was just weird with COVID, with Premier League. It was just such a weird year, and I imagine it was the same for plenty of other academy lads across the country in different clubs. So it is what it is, and you know, you just carry on moving on from there. And the season still wasn't finished yet, so there were still many good things to come. Just how it worked out, didn't really feel like a shock to me, because you know when you see something coming, and you know, it is what it is. On to more positive news, I did start to get some full games towards the end of the season. In particular, this one against Liverpool here. I mean, they had some ridiculously good players that had already played in the Champions League. You know, just some ridiculous stats in that game. But it was great to get a full game and play against such a top tier team like this. You know, probably one of the best teams in the country, if not the best. And it was a flipping tiring game. I'll put my GPS stats on after this last clip, and flipping out, let's just say I knocked out some distances that game, which was good. So cheers to that, as Kieran would say. Right, this is it. Goodbye, Leeds United. So I was 9 years old when I signed here. I can't do the maths exactly, that's about 8 years. So there you have it, an end of an era at Leeds United. 8 or so years I was there, you know, great time overall. I couldn't fault any of it. And you know, massive thanks to the players, the staff, the coaches for an amazing experience. But as of the 21st of May, that was it. My time at Leeds was finished. It's time to move on. You're nearly up to date with me now. All we need to do is have a nice summer, which I'm currently still doing, but let's start from May. So first thing all us footballers do is we hit the gym. You know, it's the only time of the year we actually get to put on some weight rather than losing it all year round. So that's always a good laugh. And I got to admit, I love the gym. And anyway, make sure I get my rest back, and most importantly, have a good laugh. Oh dear me. But yeah, spend some quality time with my mates. Head out to London for a quick trip, spend some nice time out there shopping, and of course have an amazing 18th birthday. That was, you know, class. And then finally get my hair cut. No! Come on, Payne. Come on! Come on! We want to. Come on! Oh! So after a good 3 years of owning probably one of the rarest boots out there, finally seen him go to a big Harry Kane and England fan. Just before the Euros final as well, so pack your knees up. One last look at him, lovely bag. Made a good bit of money off them though, so definitely a good collector's item. But I'm definitely going to be sad to see these go. And finally, as we're getting closer to the season starting and more things starting to happen football-wise, it's just been more important that I get my fitness back up, get the technical work going, and basically just make sure I'm ready for whatever next step is to come. Oh, wow. 10 400 metres. Each 400 metre, 1 minute 15. Minute 15 rest, do that 5 times, 5-minute break and do it again. It's a joke. At least a 9 out of 10 difficulty. Wow. Oh my. Hardest running session I think I've ever done. That was brutal. Give it a go. So that is it, guys. You are pretty much caught up with me. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and hopefully I see you a lot sooner than in a year like last time. But I hope you've enjoyed. Sorry the editing's not been so good. I've just had to put bits together. But see you guys soon, and take care. When one door closes, another one opens. They call
man false name. I can play anywhere and I shine. I got more than a lot on the line. To take on a man, get